Hey everyone, and welcome to Porch Step Live. We are in studio today to play our trivia game, which we are doing every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We've moved the time back last 2 days to 4:30 p.m. I think we're going to stick with to give you something fun to do at the end of your day. But we're excited to see you back here. We did post a great spotlight story today from Houston, Texas. I would love for you to check out our page and look at that. It was from Heather Springer, who shared a very awesome video of their neighborhood rallying together to put on a parade, a drive-by parade for one of their neighbors who turned 93 years old. He was unable to celebrate with his friends and family, and one of the mothers in the neighborhood decided to organize the parade. She had seen it done for a few other people, so they organized the parade, and it's just a great video. They ended up on the news in Houston, and she shared the story with us this morning that we posted on our page. So I would encourage you to definitely check that out. Obviously, it's still a very tough time in our world right now, and you're online, you see this quite a bit of can 2020 just go away? And so we wanted to do that for you today. So we're going to take a time machine back to the 90s, and the category for today in our trivia game is going to be all about the 90s. And so to get everyone in the 90s thinking, I wanted to go online and pull up some stats and some fun facts about what life was like in the 90s. I'm going to read through some of these just to entertain you for a few minutes before we get started. Again, if you're watching us live on the YouTube link, you can stay with us here, watch from your desktop, and then I'm going to give you the link to jump over to your phones for the game here in a few minutes. So, in 1999, a gallon of gas was $1.22. We're actually not too far from that now with the recent oil crash, but $1.22. The Macarena was so popular then that even Colin Powell busted a move. And he was the U.S. Secretary of State and busted a few of his Macarena moves at a public event in the Hamptons. Number 3, and you may want to listen to this one, 95 million Americans watched the O.J. Simpson verdict on television in the 90s. It was extremely popular. To get online in the 90s, you had to use dial-up or Netscape. A lot of you will remember AOL. You've got mail. 61 million people were using pagers in 1994. Remember what a pager is? It gives you a beep to notify you that someone is trying to reach you, I think. In 1993, the Cheers series finale was the most watched television episode of the decade. The show won 48 Emmys and was nominated a record 117 times. And in 1999, the best-selling artist was the Backstreet Boys. Best-selling VHS tape was Aladdin. And the next one is funny, is actually one of our questions, so I'm going to skip over that one. And the Ford Taurus was the best-selling car in the 90s. A lot of you will remember the Ford Taurus. So those are a few fun facts of the 90s. You got to get your mindset back in the 90s. Some of you will recognize some of these questions as 90s kids. And some of you, as some of the baby boomers, will recognize these as some of the more serious questions. So, if you're with us right now, I want you to go on your phones to www.porchstep.live. That's where we're going to be playing the game. Very simple. Go to your internet browser, and it's www.porchstep.live to join. It's very easy. Sign up with your name and hit enter, and we will get started here in just a minute. As a reminder, I do want to go through the rules real quick. If you're on your phone, you'll see a practice question pop up showing you the rules of the game. First rule is, obviously, you do have to answer correctly to get points. But the caveat to that is the speed at how fast you answer matters. The quicker you answer, the more points you're going to get. You have a maximum opportunity to get 500 points per question. And as the 20 seconds counts down, that point number will dwindle. So you got to have a fast finger here. Keep a watch on your phone. If you're joining us live on the desktop, there could be a small delay, so keep an eye on your phone to make sure you are paying attention. And the last rule, have fun. That is the most important rule. So we're happy you're with us playing along. I hope this is a fun end to your workday and a fun way to head into the weekend. So without further ado, again, hope you're joining us live on the desktop. Let's get started. You'll see this question 2 on your phones. In July of 1994, this company was founded in Seattle, Washington. and promoted itself as Earth's biggest bookstore? Was it A, ABC Books, B, Barnes & Noble, C, Books A Million, D, Books Inc., or E, Amazon? The Earth's biggest bookstore, and they obviously do a lot more of this, a lot more things now. They were almost named Cadabra as a play on abracadabra. And you will recognize one of these companies as far superior from the others nowadays. They do much more now, and the correct answer is E, Amazon. To show how much they do, their web services last year made over $7.3 billion in revenue. One of the largest companies in the world today. Their stock price is over $1,800 at the moment. Pretty incredible stuff. Next question, number 3. On January 13th, 1999, it was reported that the National Security Agency, or NSA, of the United States banned this toy from entering their property due to concerns that they may be used to record and repeat classified information. Was it the A, Tamagotchi, B, Game Boy, C, Polly Pocket, D, Gigapet, or E, Furby? This question is for all the kids out there that grew up in the 90s. You probably owned this toy, or a number of these toys. It's a very successful toy. They sold over 40 million of these during their first 3 years of production and ended up translating them into 24 languages. But the NSA had a problem with it, and the correct answer is E, Furby. E, Furby. I guarantee you a lot of you owned one of those. So, we're 2 questions in. Let's take a quick look at the leaderboard to see where we stand. So you'll see on your phones the leaderboard pop up. You'll be able to look at this throughout. We'll show it every couple of questions, and you'll see where you stand in the leaderboard. So take a look at that for a second. See where you stand. See if you need to pick it up or try to keep the momentum. Let's move on to question number 4. Former football hero, which we just mentioned as we were going through the facts, and film star O.J. Simpson gave himself up to police after a dramatic car chase through Los Angeles. In what year? Was it 1992, 1993, 1994, 1995, or 1996? And this actually came up as one of our fun facts during the restaurant trivia on Wednesday, that Domino's actually sold more pizza during that car chase than they did on Super Bowl Sunday, which is wild to think about. There were a lot of people tuned into that car chase. And it happened in C, 1994. 1994. So, moving on to the next question. Question number 5. On October 3rd, 1990, the eastern and western portions of this country were reunited after 45 years of post-war division. Was it Ukraine, B, Spain, C, Germany, D, Poland, or E, Czechoslovakia? Czechoslovakia. It was less than 1 year after destruction of a very popular wall. They now refer to this day as Unity Day in the country. Very prominent country in World War II. And the answer is C, Germany. C, Germany. So I hope you got that one correct. We're going to go back to our leaderboard here to take a look, see how we're doing. 88% got that question correct. It's very, very strong. You'll see as you look at the leaderboard where you stand. Again, we have plenty more questions. 6 more questions. First place right now, we have Lindley Jones. Second place, Tanner. And in third place, Caleb. So, moving on. Question number 6. This independent presidential candidate counted for nearly 20 million votes, which was 18.9% of the popular vote in the 1992 presidential election. Who was that presidential candidate? A, Jack Kemp, B, Ross Perot, C, James Stockdale, D, Dan Quayle, or E, Bob Dole? This person began working at 7 years old, working odd jobs such as breaking horses, delivering newspapers, selling Christmas cards, garden seeds, and magazines. Very motivated child, and he ended up accomplishing quite a bit in his career. That man was Ross Perot, answer B, and an incredible showing in that 1992 election as an independent candidate, 18.9% of the popular vote. Very, very successful campaign. Moving on to the next question, number 7. The European Union was founded in 1992 by the signing of this treaty. Was it A, the Maastricht Treaty, B, the Treaty of Versailles, C, the Geneva Agreement, D, the Kyoto Protocol, or E, the Lisbon Treaty? Now, if you're looking at this, you may lean toward the Treaty of Versailles. That's a very popular answer. It could be correct. Kyoto is also a very well-known one. Maastricht. Be interesting to see where we land on this. I'm not a history expert, but I know which one I would choose. This actually led to the creation of the euro, created what is commonly referred to as the pillar structure of the European Union. Answer is A, the Maastricht Treaty. That one was very spread out. That was a tough question. Only 21% got that one correct. A lot of you chose the Geneva Agreement and the Treaty of Versailles. So with that, let's take another look at the leaderboard and see how we're doing. 6 questions in. See this pop up in just a second. See where you stand. Got almost 30 of you joining us today, so thank you for joining along. Again, just as you watch with us, you can join us on your desktop for these. You can also play only on your phone. Same top 3 right now, so we're staying pretty consistent here. Let's move on to question number 8. Arrested in 1996 and eventually sentenced to life in prison for his 17-year series of attacks, Ted Kaczynski is more commonly referred to by what name? Is it Ted the Ripper, Dr. Death, the Kindly Killer, the Doodler, or the Unabomber? Ted Kaczynski, not to be confused with Ted Bundy, another serial killer, very popular. What was his nickname? That was very smart. He was a Harvard educated, also received his PhD from University of Michigan, and was famous for nail bombs, meaning E is the correct answer, the Unabomber. The Unabomber. Let's move on. Next question. Question number 9. On May 14th, 1998, this iconic television series aired its finale to an audience of 76 million viewers. Was it A, ER, B, Seinfeld, C, Cheers, D, Roseanne, or E, Frasier? This is a huge audience. They were actually selling commercial spots during this finale for $1 million for a 30-second commercial spot. The writer who was involved, co-creator who was involved in the first 7 seasons, Larry David, returned to write the final script for Seinfeld, and that is the correct answer, Seinfeld, also known as The Show About Nothing. Very funny, probably a lot of your parents' favorite shows or your own. Answer is B, Seinfeld. That was split between Cheers. I know we mentioned Cheers as a fun fact, also a widely popular show, and one of the most successful finales as well in the 90s. So let's take a look at the leaderboard, see where we're at. We have 2 questions remaining. 2 questions remaining. So if you're not in first, you do have a chance to keep climbing up the leaderboard. But if you are behind, you may want to start answering as fast as possible. In the lead, we have Tanner with 31.95, Lindley in second with 31.33, and Caleb in third with 29.94. Few of you behind also have a chance to creep in. So let's move on to question number 10. Question number 10. On May 27th, 1995, the Superman star was paralyzed from the neck down after falling off a horse in an equestrian competition in Virginia. Was it A, Anthony Hopkins, B, Christopher Reeve, C, Edward Norton, D, Woody Allen, or E, Ethan Hawke? The person started writing after they learned for the film Anna Karenina. The person was also initially allergic to horses. The horse actually went to take a jump and stopped, throwing the person off the horse and injuring them severely. Person was B. Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve, I think that was probably an easy one for you all. I would see that 96% got that correct. Very popular story and person. So let's take one more look at the leaderboard before our last question and see how we're doing. Last question will favor the 90s kids. So if you're younger and you're toward the top of the leaderboard, this is going to fare well for you, I think, but it's also a pretty challenging question. So see where you stand. We got one question left. We got Tanner, Lindley, Caleb still in the top 3. Good luck in the final question. Question 11, released on September 29th, 1996. This gaming console's original retail price was $199. Pretty steep for the 90s. Was it A, the Nintendo 64, B, the PlayStation, C, Xbox, D, Sega Saturn, or the E, Game Boy Color? This was the last major home console to use the cartridge as its primary storage format. They sold a total of 32.93 million units. Very widely popular game. You may have played a game such as Mario Kart on here. Super Mario, that'll give the answer away to some of you. But you would have played this on your Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64, very popular game. People still play those games today. One of the more popular games. 45% of you got that correct. And with that, let's take a look at the leaderboard to see who the winner of our 90s trivia game is. Drum roll. Let's see who the winner is. Tanner Martin with 4,146 points, barely beating Lindley Jones. Those three, Tanner, Lindley, Caleb, were all in the top 3 for most of the game. I assume they may be 90s kids themselves, possibly. But we thank you for joining the game today, and hopefully it took you out of 2020 for a little while and brought you back into the 90s to look at some of these fun facts and some of the stories that happened in that time. Thank you for joining us live on YouTube if you're viewing along with us, and thank you for playing along on your phones. We're playing with different types of broadcasts to see what fits best. So if you have any feedback, let us know. And again, we want to hear stories from you to spotlight on our page. So as you're going through your weekend, your week, reach out to people, ask them to tell a story. I think one of the things I've been surprised with is how powerful some of these stories have been that would have never been told if someone didn't reach out. So if you know of anything that's going on, or you have people, friends, family, reach out to them and try to get them to tell the story, tell it on video. We'd love to spotlight them on our page and want to keep the content moving. So with that, I hope you have a safe weekend. I hope you have a fun weekend in your homes. Again, follow along. If you haven't watched our videos yet, go to our page and check out some of our spotlight stories. We can't wait to hear from you. So with that, have a good weekend. We'll see you next week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Stay safe. See you next time.